Imagine this. A ship sends a final bone-chilling message. All officers, including the captain, are dead. I die. Moments later, radio silence. No trace of a crew. Just an empty vessel, silently drifting. Welcome to Infinity, where we uncover the strange, the lost, and the forgotten. If you crave stories of real-life mysteries, vanished civilizations, and chilling discoveries, subscribe now and hit the bell icon. Let's dive deep into secrets the ocean tried to bury. The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet, yet it remains one of the least explored frontiers on Earth. Beneath its waves lie countless mysteries, and among the most chilling are the stories of ships that vanish without a trace, only to reappear sometimes decades later under bizarre and unexplained circumstances. Maritime history is filled with tales of ghost ships and unexplained disappearances. These aren't just sailor stories or urban legends. Many are documented in naval records and reported by credible sources. Yet the causes behind such incidents often remain unsolved. What happens when a crew disappears, leaving their vessel eerily intact? Why do some ships reappear hundreds of miles from their last known location, seemingly abandoned in a hurry? There are physical dangers to account for. Rogue waves, mechanical failure, piracy. But in some cases, there are signs of something far more mysterious at play. Clocks stopped at the same time, radios tuned to distress frequencies, and medical kits strewn about. Today, we explore two of the most infamous maritime enigmas, the SS Ourang Medan and the MV Joyita. These ships defy logic, and their stories have captured the imaginations of maritime historians and mystery lovers for decades. The first tale takes us to the Strait of Malacca, one of the world's busiest and most treacherous maritime corridors. Here, a ghost ship sent out a final, terrifying message that would baffle rescuers. The second story leads us into the heart of the South Pacific, where a seemingly unsinkable vessel drifted back into view after disappearing, devoid of life, yet filled with clues that only deepened the mystery. While science and reason offer theories, neither case has ever been definitively solved. Could the truth be more complex, or even stranger, than we imagine? Before diving into the cases, it's essential to understand how mysterious shipwrecks are often discovered, via radar anomalies, chance encounters by fishermen, or aerial surveillance. Each discovery often raises more questions than answers. These stories aren't just historical oddities. They challenge our understanding of isolation, survival, and what it means to truly vanish at sea. In June 1947, a chilling SOS message was picked up by several ships navigating the Strait of Malacca. It came from a Dutch freighter named SS Ourang Medan, and the message was unlike any distress call heard before. SOS from Ourang Medan. All officers, including the captain, are dead, lying in chart room and bridge, possibly whole crew dead. Then, seconds later, I die. Silence followed. The radio fell dead. Shocked by the broadcast, a nearby vessel, the Silver Star, raced to the coordinates provided in the transmission. What they discovered still baffles experts today. Upon boarding the Ourang Medan, rescuers found the entire crew deceased. Their bodies were sprawled across the deck, the bridge, and the engine room. Each face was contorted in horror, arms extended as if trying to ward off an unseen attacker. No injuries were found on the bodies. There were no signs of a fight or struggle. It was as if death had come to them all at once, and they had seen it coming. Even the ship's dog was found dead, teeth bared, as if snarling at some invisible threat. The ship's condition was undamaged, and the cargo untouched. Everything was in place, except for the lives that had once filled it. As the crew of the Silver Star attempted to tow the Ourang Medan back to port, smoke began billowing from the lower decks. Moments later, a massive explosion engulfed the ghost ship, and it sank into the depths of the sea. To this day, the official records of the Ourang Medan are spotty. Some claim the ship never existed, while others believe the details were deliberately erased. Theories range from carbon monoxide poisoning to secret chemical weapons being transported illegally. However, no conclusive evidence has ever emerged to support any of them. Skeptics argue the story is a post-World War II urban legend, but enough historical breadcrumbs exist to keep researchers digging. The eeriness of the message, the crew's frozen expressions, and the ship's sudden explosion keep the mystery alive. Whatever happened aboard the SS Ourang Medan remains one of the sea's most terrifying enigmas. In October 1955, the MV Joyita departed Samoa with 25 people on board. She was headed to the Tokelau Islands, a routine trip that should have taken no more than 2 days. When she failed to arrive, a search operation was launched. No trace of the vessel or her passengers was found. It wasn't until 5 weeks later that the mystery deepened. A merchant ship spotted the Joyita adrift over 600 miles off course. She was partially submerged but still afloat, thanks to her design with sealed bulkheads. On board, everything was in disarray. Medical kits were opened, a doctor's bag lay on a table with blood-stained bandages, and the radio was set to the international distress frequency. Even more bizarre, all the clocks had stopped at exactly 10:25 p.m. There was no sign of the crew or passengers. Lifeboats were missing, the engine was not functioning, and the generator had failed. Despite this, there was no evidence the ship was in immediate danger of sinking. Theories quickly surfaced. Some believed the crew panicked due to a perceived emergency, possibly from a leaking pipe or mechanical failure. Others suspected foul play, perhaps piracy, or even Cold War espionage. A court of inquiry determined the abandonment was unjustified and irrational, but couldn't explain what had caused it. Rumors spread that valuable cargo was missing, including medical supplies and barrels of oil. Some suspected a cover-up. In 2002, a New Zealand author claimed to have solved the case, suggesting a medical emergency led to panic and a rushed evacuation. But inconsistencies in this theory left many unconvinced. To this day, the MV Joyita remains one of the Pacific's most puzzling maritime mysteries. Her crew and passengers were never found. What do ghost ships like the Ourang Medan and Joyita have in common? Each one reveals clues that seem to contradict logical explanation. Ghost ships are typically discovered adrift, with their structure intact but crew missing or dead. Often, vital systems like radios or engines are non-functional, yet the vessel remains seaworthy. In both cases we explored, the ships had signs of sudden evacuation or rapid, unexplained death. Medical kits, blood-stained linens, and tuned distress frequencies point toward emergencies. But what if these emergencies weren't physical? Could they have been psychological, or even supernatural in nature? In the case of Ourang Medan, the crew's terror-stricken faces suggest they saw something horrifying, but no evidence points to any intruder, disease, or poison. With Joyita, the fear seems subtler. It's in the missing lifeboats, the stopped clocks, and the inexplicably open doctor's kit. It's the fear of something imminent, invisible, and deadly. Investigators often rely on forensic evidence, yet the ocean erases clues rapidly. Saltwater, storms, and time conspire to wipe the slate clean. This is part of what makes ghost ships so haunting. They are empty vessels that carry stories no one lived to tell. While the supernatural often finds its way into these tales, researchers have attempted to apply science to unravel the mysteries. One popular theory for the SS Ourang Medan involves carbon monoxide poisoning. A malfunctioning boiler could have released toxic fumes, causing hallucinations and death. However, this doesn't explain the crew's frozen expressions of terror, or why the ship exploded shortly after being found. Another theory suggests the ship was secretly transporting dangerous chemicals like potassium cyanide or nitroglycerin. Any leak could explain both the deaths and the sudden explosion. As for the Joyita, some believe the ship's radio failure caused a cascade of decisions based on faulty information. Panic is a potent force at sea. The fear of sinking, even if the ship is technically afloat, can drive people to abandon ship prematurely. Piracy is also a candidate, though neither case shows definitive signs of violent struggle. In the Joyita's case, theorists have even speculated about Cold War activities or CIA involvement due to her route through a sensitive area. Occam's razor might suggest human error and mechanical failure. But the specifics, like clocks stopping simultaneously or mysterious messages, complicate this conclusion. Ultimately, we're left with plausible theories that answer some questions, but not all. Media coverage has played a significant role in shaping the legends of these ghost ships. Sensational headlines, dramatic retellings, and sparse official records blur the line between fact and folklore. In the case of the Ourang Medan, many versions exist, some naming different rescue ships or locations. The lack of concrete records fuels speculation that the story was fabricated or distorted. Yet, the tale persists, especially in online communities fascinated by the paranormal and unexplained. Similarly, the Joyita story was sensationalized in newspapers, with each outlet offering slightly different takes on what happened. Documentaries, fictional films, and video games have drawn inspiration from these stories, cementing their place in pop culture. The more mysterious the case, the more likely it is to be adapted or retold, often at the expense of historical accuracy. Still, these retellings keep the stories alive and provoke new investigations or theories. Today, YouTube, podcasts, and blogs serve as modern-day storytelling vessels, allowing global audiences to engage with these mysteries. That attention has prompted new dives into the archives and even deep-sea explorations aimed at uncovering evidence. Perhaps in our age of information, the truth about these maritime mysteries is closer than ever. The stories of the SS Ourang Medan and MV Joyita remind us that the ocean is not just a realm of water, but a keeper of secrets. Even with modern technology, sonar mapping, and satellite surveillance, vast portions of the ocean remain unexplored. What else lies beneath the waves? How many ships have vanished, their stories lost because no one lived to tell them? Ghost ships like the Ourang Medan and Joyita serve as eerie time capsules. They offer a glimpse into moments frozen in time when something went terribly wrong. They also serve as cautionary tales. In an era of overconfidence in technology, they remind us that nature remains a powerful, unpredictable force. Whether these cases were caused by natural phenomena, human error, or something more sinister, they provoke a deep sense of curiosity. And maybe that's the true power of these mysteries. They force us to ask questions, to wonder, to search. In the end, not every mystery must be solved. Some are meant to humble us, to keep us questioning. If the sea has taught us anything, it's that for every ship that sails out, not all come back with answers. The stories of the Ourang Medan and the Joyita remain open chapters in maritime history, unfinished, enigmatic, and unforgettable. So next time you look out over the ocean, remember, it's not just water. It's memory, it's myth, and sometimes it's a mystery that refuses to sink. Let's keep unraveling the impossible. Subscribe to Infinity now and join our growing crew of explorers and thinkers. Like if you want more real unsolved stories. Comment with your theory, because maybe, just maybe, someone out there knows more.